Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all well. 30 days ago I decided to start meditating and it honestly changed my life. I wanted to make a YouTube video and say what I feel about it, how things have changed, how my mindset's changed. So I decided that I was going to meditate for 10 minutes every single day. It's such a small amount of time to take out of your day, and I knew that would be an amount of time that I would be able to stick to. The way that I motivated myself to continue doing it was by saying, well, I'll willingly spend hours on TikTok or on Instagram, so why can't I take 10 minutes out of my day to just do something for myself that's actually going to be beneficial? I've been gratitude journaling every single day, so I'm going to read out some of my entries from my gratitude journal because I feel like that's the best way for me to describe how I felt. I started meditating on the 11th of February. When I started meditating, I was in I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I was in quite a low place, and that's not me saying that I was necessarily depressed in that time. I just wasn't happy. So I'm going to read out my gratitude journal entry from the first day that I meditated. I wrote about the meditation, so I'm going to read out what I had to say about it. Thursday the 11th of February. I'm grateful that I just meditated properly for the first time. I meditated for 25 minutes, which was more than I was meditating all the other days. 25 minutes on my first day. Pretty fucking happy with myself. I was a little tense and uncomfortable for the first 5 minutes, but then I was able to fully relax and it was amazing. The feeling when I opened my eyes was incredible. It almost felt like a high. Still feel extremely calm and at peace with both myself and the world around me. I'm grateful that I took the time to meditate today, and I always want to feel like this. Hello, I have something that I would really like to share with you. I meditated properly for the first time today, and it was fucking amazing. It wasn't necessarily the feeling during the meditation that was really good. It was the feeling afterwards. And I felt so happy and clear-headed. Why haven't I been doing this sooner? Like, this shit's gonna fucking change my life. Genuinely. Look how happy I am. I wrote down in my gratitude journal after I did it, look at all the other ones that I do. Literally little sentences. Like, that one's kind of big. Little sentences. That's about the meditation. I've never written one that's that big before. That's the first big difference that I noticed. I was like, oh my god, I'm grateful for so many more things after one day of meditating. One day. So as you can tell, I loved it. Loved the meditation. I felt unreal afterwards. One thing I will say is meditation isn't a magic fix for your problems. This morning when I meditated, I felt unbelievable. Like, I felt the happiest I'd felt in a long time. That night, like evening time, I did start to feel very, very, very down. And it continued into the next day. It lasted for like a few days. So yeah, first day, absolutely loved it. Felt amazing afterwards, but it wasn't a magic fix for my problems. Those feelings crept their way back in. But it's natural. I've been meditating for one day, what can you expect? The next day I wrote on Friday the 12th of February, I wrote, I'm grateful that I meditated properly for the second time today. I've been feeling anxious about a lot of things recently, but I'm grateful that I'm able to bring myself back into the present and remember that it's all in my head and I'm lucky to be where I am today. Younger Eve would have been so proud and would wish to be in the position that I am today, and I'm grateful for this realisation. Before I even started meditating, I had started doing some kind of self-improvement. I don't like saying the word self-improvement, although that is what it is, but I don't know. I don't dislike that term, I just don't like using it. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I started gratitude journaling on the 5th of January and I started meditating on the 11th of February. I'll include a little clip. I was feeling very down, not very great. This was the second day of meditating, so I'll include a little clip of that. Hello. I look a mess. I just feel weird. Like, I feel like I'm focusing all my time on trying to become happier and do self-improvement, all that shit. I thought the whole journey of it was going to be like, all fucking sunshines and rainbows and wow, I'm so happy. But it's actually not been. And I just feel so fucking anxious all the time. I'm just like worried about everything.
I just am getting so inside my own head and overthinking and ruining things which are actually good, like, and I just keep trying to bring myself back to it and be like, I'm grateful for this, even the bad things, like, I'm grateful for it. I just still feel like this, even though I'm just reminding myself. If anyone finds these videos, I'll fucking scream, but at least I'm still kind of cute when I'm crying, though. Kinda.
So yeah, I was struggling on this day, but meditating did make me feel better, like, but you can tell just from the journal entry, even though I was obviously feeling so down that day, I still had a positive outlook on it. I still said younger me would be so happy about where I am today, they'd want to be where I am today. So I wasn't feeling that before. I was obviously feeling grateful for all the good things, but when I was feeling negative, I wasn't looking at it in a positive way. Saturday the 20th of February, I wrote, for so long I had the idea that I'd never be able to meditate burnt into my brain because I'd never tried to. I'm grateful for past Eve, who 10 days ago decided to start doing something so simple that's already helped me massively. Look at how much more grateful I am. So I didn't stop meditating for a very long time because honestly I didn't think I would be able to do it. I remember someone who I actually spend a lot of time with would always try and make me meditate. Like when we'd be together, he'd be like, come on, let's meditate, and I'd be like, nah, I can't do it. I can't meditate. But the thing is, I'd never tried to. I'd never properly tried to. I'd sit there for like 30 seconds, wouldn't be able to do it. It's not going to happen after 30 seconds. Here I am, been meditating for 30 days. So don't tell yourself you can't do something until you've actually tried it. Anyway, got distracted. This is quite an interesting entry. I wrote on Wednesday the 24th of February, I only got to meditate for 6 minutes today, the shortest meditation I've done. Previously, I would have beat myself up for not doing longer, but I know that something is better than nothing and I'm grateful. Which is so true. With me, if I set out that I'm going to do something and I don't fully complete it to my standard, I beat myself up about it so bad and I make myself feel so negative. And I would have previously done that with this, like, oh, I only did it for 6 minutes, like it's not good enough, I need to do 10 minutes. I was just like, I've done something, I've done some form of meditation, it's better than nothing, and I'm grateful that I realise that now. The next entry which I would like to read out, this is one of the most important ones, I think. It's from Thursday the 25th of February, and I wrote, I can feel myself becoming more mindful every day. In situations where previously I would have been so stuck inside my own head, thinking of every negative to the point that I wouldn't even be in the present moment, I'm now able to enjoy and be fully present. Even when I do start to go into my own head, I'm able to acknowledge this and bring myself back into the present. And I'm grateful for this. That is what I wrote. That is a massive thing that I think is important for me with meditation. I spend so much time in almost every situation, I mean not as much anymore, but just inside my own head, thinking of every single negative and creating negative. A lot of the time it would be in situations with guys. I'd be thinking, oh my god, I bet I don't look good from this angle, like, oh, he's on the bad side of my face, like, oh, he doesn't fancy me, when obviously if a guy is spending time with you, he obviously fancies you. Not that I wouldn't be enjoying myself, I'd still have a great time, like I'd still be in situations, not even just with guys where I'm thinking of every negative, I'd still have a great time, don't get me wrong, but it's not as enjoyable when you're in your head thinking of every single reason why you shouldn't be happy and grateful in this situation, when you should just enjoy it. Meditating has made me realise that things that I am probably really obsessing over and thinking, oh my god, I bet he's thinking about this, they're probably not even thinking about that. They're probably thinking of their own insecurities rather than yours. So honestly, meditation is a fucking MVP for making this clear to me. So I'm going to jump a little bit further now. It's on Wednesday the 3rd of March. And I wrote that I'm so grateful and proud of myself for being able to commit to this and do something for my future self. I think that is a huge thing that really did help me feel positive during meditation, because I normally can't commit to things. For me to be able to commit to doing something every single day, there's been so many things in my life that I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to do this every day. Even now, I tell myself I'm going to read every single day. I don't read every single day, I read like every 5 days, but it's better than before. When you're trying to do this kind of stuff, I think it's very important that even though if you set out to do things every single day and you don't meet that, it's very important to not beat yourself up about it. Essentially, we become a product of what we tell ourselves. We become a product of the way that we treat ourselves, the way that we speak to ourselves. The person who actually got me into meditation is constantly drilling into me, drilling into people, that we become a product of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And I mean, obviously that's meant for external people, but I interpret that as yourself as well. Like, obviously you need to hold yourself accountable, I'm not saying that, but also don't make yourself feel so bad. There's another day tomorrow where you have opportunities to do the thing that you're feeling bad about, that you're beating yourself up about. The thing is, when you're talking to yourself negatively, you're actually setting yourself back on your self-improvement progress, because you're gonna become more negative. Sorry, little side rant there, but be nice to yourself, homie. So I think this is probably one of the most important journal entries I made about my meditation. I wrote on Saturday the 6th of March. Pretty much every day I still struggle with intrusive thoughts. Things that are distracting or that I don't want to think about pop up a lot throughout the day, and sometimes I can snap myself out of it, but others I become so consumed by them that it's hard to think of anything else. This doesn't mean that I'm not happy. I'd say that I'm actually doing really well at the moment. I rarely feel negative, and I don't mean that the intrusive thoughts are necessarily bad or depressing. They're just things I don't want to think about. I'm grateful that meditation is helping me deal with this. I still suffer from intrusive thoughts pretty much every single day, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad things. They're just things I don't necessarily want to spend my day thinking about because it's distracting. I think it's important to note that you can still have intrusive thoughts and be happy. Like, I'm very happy. At this point I felt happy, and meditation is very important for that. I think it is very helpful in just... That was a good click. It's very important for snapping yourself out of it. And it's very helpful. It's been very helpful for me, even though I still suffer with it, not as much as before. That's the end of my journal entries. I'll speak a little bit about gratitude journaling and pairing it with meditation, actually, because I think it is a really powerful tool. Pretty much every single one of these that I wrote immediately after the meditation. So after you meditate, right, your brain is like a sponge. That isn't just what I've assumed, it's what I've read. So it's not just me just trying to sound clever. Whatever you consume is gonna be absorbed more than usual. What I tend to do after I meditate is I put on some calming music. Recently it's been like low frequency hertz music, and I'll listen to that, and I'll do my gratitude journaling literally immediately after. And other people that I know that meditate and gratitude journal, they do it immediately after as well, so take that as you will. I think gratitude journaling in general is a very, very, very powerful and positive tool, because it's training yourself to every single day think of 5, however many things to be grateful for. A lot of the days when I wrote in this gratitude journal, I had to sit for at least 5 minutes thinking of things to write, because some days, like, it is hard to think of things to be grateful for when you're stuck in a negative thought cycle. It is difficult. So when you're feeling your lowest, to sit there and think, what am I grateful for today? Even if you write, I'm grateful for the apple I just ate, it's still something to be grateful for. So when you train yourself to be grateful for little things, even if you don't necessarily feel it, when you write it, you begin to feel it, and you become grateful for the more little things. And I think pairing it with meditation is very, very, very helpful. And I'd say, if you are going to meditate, I would say to gratitude journal afterwards, or not even gratitude journal, just write afterwards how you felt. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on to talk about what I've learned, what's changed since I've been meditating for 30 days. One of the biggest things that I think I've realised is the person who actually got me into meditating. He would always say to me, once you start meditating, you will find it bizarre that everyone doesn't meditate. And honestly, I find it so mad that everyone doesn't meditate. It's so easy. It's not like you need money to do it. It's not like you don't need anything. You don't even need a phone to listen to things on. You don't even need to do a guided meditation. You can literally just sit there. It's so helpful. And honestly, I can't believe that more people don't meditate. I think the biggest difference I've noticed in my day-to-day life is how I am more mindful, which is the biggest thing I wanted to achieve from meditating. Say, for example, at night time, say, I'd go outside in the past and I'd just be on my phone looking down, whereas now when I go outside at night, I straight away just look up. at the stars. It sounds so cringy, but like looking at the moon, just being literally mesmerized by what is above us. I feel like I'm so much more appreciative and aware of my surroundings. Like before, like I said, even in the daytime I'd just be on my phone, whereas now I'm looking at everything around me. I'm looking at the trees, I'm looking at like the animals that are around. In the morning I will open my blinds and I'll lie in my bed, and there's a big window in front of my bed, and there's so many trees in my garden, and I'll just lie there and just look at the trees and the sun shining through them like in the morning. And I think that's the biggest difference, and I'm just so much more aware of the beauty around me. Like I never used to use the word beautiful. When I would hear people use the word beautiful, unless it was talking about me, when I'd hear people use the word beautiful, it would make me cringe. Whereas now I use the word beautiful every single day. I'm like, oh my god, that's so beautiful, oh my god. Big thing that I've noticed is I am more grateful. I mean, I'm more grateful for the life I have. I'm more grateful for the places that I live in, obviously where I live at home and where I am at uni. I'm much more grateful for the people around me, like my friends. I'm so grateful for my friends. I'm so grateful for my family. Since I started meditating, my gratitude has like was fucking soared. So just a grateful gal, what can I say? Another thing that I have noticed is I am much more happier. I don't know if that is just a natural change in my happiness. I don't really have any negative days anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still have negative feelings, I still have parts of a day that's negative, but I can't remember the last time I had a whole day that I felt shit. And before I started meditating, it was pretty much every single day for a while. Like people say to me that I seem happier since I've been doing this stuff. I'm so excited by it, and I think it's because I genuinely enjoy it. Also, I think I feel happier in the person that I am. I feel like before I'd always try and be like, oh, I'm gonna become this and this, whereas yeah, you're gonna become more things in the future, but be grateful for who you are today. Like you aren't the person you were a year ago. You weren't the person you were 5 years ago. You weren't the person you were a week ago. Obviously that sounds like dramatic to say, like you weren't the person you were a week ago, but when you're meditating, you're getting better every day. You're getting better. Like I said, I'm still very early days. I'm gonna have more things to learn, I'm gonna have more things to realise, but I'm excited and I'm grateful. So I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. I think it's something that everyone should do. Like I said, my friend that got me into meditating, he said you'll find it so bizarre that everyone doesn't meditate. Why aren't you meditating? What's your excuse? That you can't do it? I said the same. You haven't got time? It takes 5 minutes. I bet you spend longer than 5 minutes a day on TikTok. But yeah, I am so grateful that you watched this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, turn on notifications if you want to know when I post. It's up to you. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye. Stop saying you don't know how to meditate and just go and fucking do it.